We have another beautiful day in Aarhus, Denmark. Sunny, as you can tell, which hasn't been like that. And people are very shocked with how hot and sunny it has been. That's the cathedral right there. Everybody and their mother is out today. Lots of shops, as you can tell. Very beautiful architecture. I'm enjoying the sun. Not too hot, not too cold, and luckily the wind today has been pretty light. You know, the last couple days has been gusty at times, blowing my hair, but today not bad at all, and I'm enjoying it. I really am. Got a haircut from a barber. He had originally lived in Syria. He's been in Denmark 15 years now, and the cut was about 30 US, but they did the nose wax. You know, they put wax in my nose and pulled the hair out. They trimmed my beard as well, and he wanted to trim my eyebrows, but I like the thickness of them. So I told him, don't mess with my eyebrows. Construction began in the 1200s and finished in about 1350. So this church is almost 700 years old. Kind of crazy, you know. And it makes me mad that in World War II, how many old buildings were just destroyed out of pure selfishness. You know, the history that we'll never get back has been blown to pieces. It really pisses me off. You know, it's such a waste, man. I cannot stand war. I wish people would be peaceful. You know, imagine if we put our money and resources and effort into actually getting things done instead of building bombs and tanks and weaponry. It's just, you know, we'll never have peace, but it's a thought I wish we could, you know, and I wish everybody would strive for peace, but, you know, man, there's just too many power-hungry people in the world, and it's an absolute shame that, you know, it's kind of how things goes. But yeah, here's the outside of it, a little bit more. Pretty cool. And I like this small town Europe vibe. Everybody's walking, biking, you know, it's quiet, nobody's being obnoxious, nobody's being loud. And interestingly enough, not many overweight people, you know, because people walk 5, 6, 7 miles a day, or they bike a ton. In the US, we drive. That's what we do. Oh, let me get out of this guy's way. But yeah, we drive a lot. And we eat very bad too, and we eat a lot. And we're lazy, we don't exercise. It's not a good look. But you come to Europe and it's like, most people are fit. Even in older age. You know, when I was in Japan, there'd be moms with multiple children that are still built like a young woman, you know, a college-age woman. And they look young too. They hold their age very well. Here's some more of the town going on. Pretty cool. For me, it's just the building, man. You know, the small town vibe, the buildings are a lot different. I'll let this guy pass. See? Coming down here. It's just a lot of character. You know, in the US, we have plain old houses. You know, they build a neighborhood with a few hundred houses. They're all like the same style, same body type, you know, a little bit of differences to mix things up, but they're basically the same, you know, and you see so many of them. And then in Europe, things just have so much detail that we don't have in the US. And then when we have the shops, you know, they just put a bunch of shops up and it's ugly. But here, so much detail, so much life. And I don't get sick of it at all. And I like comparing it. You know, when I went to Portugal, things were a lot different. But I liked it. You know, I liked the architecture in Portugal. I liked the architecture in Denmark. I like it in Japan. You know, Japan was a lot different, but very small. You know, in Japan, the lots are very small, but they make do with the space that they have, kind of like in Europe. There's some more stuff going on, and so many people out today. Even like small town USA I've been to, I mean, it's cool, but to me, this just hits a lot different being here. I mean, I think the buildings are still superior to small town USA. I mean, it's just well maintained, man. Like, this is the second biggest city in Denmark with about 600,000 people. Metro population, about 1.5 million. but it's just booming with life. You know, living in the suburbs in the US, especially as a young man, is not ideal. But sure, if you have a family and kids and a wife and, you know, a stable job, then living in a house, having your own land, stuff like that, it's good. But that's all I know. So when I come here, I really enjoy it because everybody's out talking and having fun and walking, and you just don't get that where I'm from. You know, where I'm from, it's very hard to socialize with people as a young person because you drive everywhere. You know, you live in the suburbs. Like you're not forced to get out and walk places and really interact with people. You can go on Amazon and, you know, buy your groceries, buy your pills, buy your clothes. Like you don't have to leave the house. You can, because you have the space, put a gym in your garage and you don't have to leave. But yeah, man, it's just a pretty cool place. Honestly, nobody's beeping. There's not many cars at all, you know, especially where I'm at now. I'm heading to the docks. I want to see the docks, the water. That's what I want to see. Oh yeah, and when I was getting my haircut done, when I left, the guys were like, oh, take a soda. And I'm like, I don't drink soda, too much sugar. Oh, take a diet soda. I don't drink diet soda because the fake sweetener is not the best. But very thoughtful of them. The hospitality of people in the Middle East is very good, I've heard. I've not been to the Middle East yet, but I plan on going in the fall, beginning of winter, because the hospitality is just so nice, man. There's been many people that go to the Middle East and they get, you know, drinks or food, and the people don't even make you pay for it. They're just like, oh, it's on me. And you try to pay them and they're like, no, I won't take the money. It's a little noisy now that I'm right here in like the little hub, very close to the docks now. Yeah, the cars here, man, they're mainly European. I see some Kias, I see some Hyundais occasionally. Not really any Hondas. The one thing about Europe is you don't really see pickup trucks. You know, in the US, everybody's got a pickup truck. Shit. I walk this way. Yeah, in the US, everybody's got a pickup truck. But in Europe, man, because it's not cost effective and because a gallon of gas is really expensive, you know, like twice as much as in the US, people don't have them. Too expensive. But I did see a Chevy Silverado yesterday, which was pretty funny. That was probably the only Chevy Silverado I'm gonna see in the month and a half I'm in Europe, honestly. Right here, I'm at a crosswalk, waiting. That's, I don't know what building that is. Here's the view of the water, and beyond is a bunch of factories and stuff like that. Not the most scenic. I mean, it's cool to see the city, you know, small town Europe. The hostel lady told me to come down here and said it's a cool part of town. So we'll be the judge of that. Here's a guy on the, what's that thing called? Where you like waterboard or something with the ski, you like hold on to it like a water ski, I think, and it's on a zip line. See? Kind of like that. Lots of water activities going on. Oof. You don't like to see that. Some trash, huh? That's not very environmental friendly. I mean, this side of town is okay. It's cool, you know. About a half-hour walk away from the hostel. Yeah, these are like little jumps, I guess. They like water ski on top of these and they hit the jump. Like, check them out, check them out. It's not very fast, you know, not as fast as on a boat. Here's a big ass building getting built right on the water right here. I don't think I want to live here, man. There's just too much noise going on. Yeah, this is the building. There's just too much going on. It's kind of unsightly, you know, off in the distance with all the factories. I do not know if I could live here, especially with probably how expensive it is and how much you pay in taxes. Not much bang for the buck that you make. Hate to see it, but that's Europe. Good quality of life though. Looks like the rain is coming soon. Can never stay away for too long here in Europe, Scandinavia. Sorry about that. Not all of Europe is so rainy. But yeah, right here on this little water's edge, I guess you'd call it, there's a lot of shops and cafes. There's probably like half a dozen cafes just lined up. So it's like, which one do you choose? You know, you all sell the same stuff. And there's places where people are like swimming. I think it's dammed off. And it looks like it's heated because it had like a bunch of like bubbles coming from rising to the surface, you know? I don't know. And people were jumping in. I'm like, isn't it pretty cold, you know, when it's only 70 outside? Like the water's probably cold as shit. I think it's heated because it's dammed off. I don't know how that would work though. How would you, you know, depending on how deep the water is, how would you heat that up? I don't know. I don't know the technicalities behind it. All I know is people are swimming on a 70-degree day. That's a bit windy now. But 70 to people that live in Scandinavia is probably like 95 to me, you know, which 70 is a bit hot to me, but I would not swim in 70, you know, I would be swimming in like 85 and up. Otherwise, it's too damn cold. But hey, today's 70 and people are out swimming and in their bathing suits, getting the sun. I ain't built like that, man. You would not catch me out swimming, you know, on a day like today. And here you have a big old cargo ship with a bunch of cargo crates. I'm walking up to that now. Well, look at that view. Woo! I should jump in. Some apartment buildings to the left. Here's a big old slanted. That looks new. Looks like it was just built. See that? And then you have the rocks to stop the erosion. Very cool. Tiny lighthouse. The big old cargo ships off in the distance. And oh my goodness, the rain is coming. And I don't have an umbrella. Tough shit. It's called being a man, you know. Being a man means you can get wet. Not like that, excuse me. I did not mean to say it like that. But yeah, look at all these little, like, I don't know if these are like hotels. Yeah, these are hotels, wow, how cool. So these are like little hotels. I don't know if you can see with the reflection, but couch, ladder going to the loft. Very beautifully designed. Nice interior on all these. Yeah, they're a bunch of tiny hotels, but man, they're flipping beautiful. Honestly, they're like wooden and they got nice paintings and couches. I hope y'all can see like a little bit, man, but it's probably not picking up too well. Shoot, I should do some investments on these. Danish Golf Championship, look at that. Danish Golf Championship. Can they keep up with the Americans in golf? I don't know. I don't watch golf. Maybe somebody can tell me. But the rain's coming. Hopefully I can get back in time.